I'm not gonna lie. I just probably spoke to my camera, my phone, for 5 minutes, realized I never hit record. That's fine. Whatever. I'm gonna talk about a couple projects that I'm working on. I think I told you guys all about the plugin I'm working on for Reddit. Um, and that one is exciting because, well, long story short, it's working. It's not working in the way I mean, it works the way I've programmed it to. It does not work in the way that I've dreamed of it working. And you're sliding. So let's put something else in front of here just to hold that. So my dream situation is there's a much more graphically friendly user interface, but that's fine. What it does now is it takes your models, it essentially dumbs them down into masses based on categories of plumbing, fixtures, mechanical, glass, doors, um, the glass indoors, glass and curtain walls, and separates them from the mullions and frames. So if you have a translucent filament, you can actually print the glass using the translucent filaments. Um, Separating walls, floors, ceilings, all that stuff. And sort of the now, I'm not going to show the print first. I want to show the site plan because the print I had to cancel. It was not going well. But this is a site plan. It's on a sheet. I just threw it on 11 by 17 so I could print it quickly. But it is to scale. And I exported the model at 1 to 30 and went to print it. And like I said, this failed print, but it lines up perfectly. And of course, I'm holding it up, so like it's hard to. But I'm telling you, it's 1 to 30, and it fits. Like this is the dream that I have: is being able to take the model and essentially set it up on a drawing like this at scale and like be able to talk to a client about it in the 3D that you can translate the paper and the 3D without a VR headset. I love the VR idea. I've got like two VR headsets over there, but if I'm meeting with a client, if they're not here, or if I can't, like, there's a setup process to VR that will go beyond that. Anyway, that's 2 minutes about that. The next one, I've been wanting to tell the story of black architects in a way that is accessible to children. And originally, I wanted to start with Ed Bowser, who was a black architect in New Jersey, the second licensed black architect in New Jersey. Um, and, there's been some interesting things we found out about him, but we don't know enough yet. And I don't have enough to make a story out of it. But I do have enough to talk about Norma Merrick Sklaric, who was the first black woman licensed architect in New York, first black woman licensed as an architect in California, co-founded the largest women-owned architecture firm in the U.S., and she's designed a lot of public work that is significant. If you like Die Hard, that Fox Plaza, that's her. The United States Embassy in Tokyo, the San Bernardino City Hall, Terminal 1 at LAX, that's her. And so the artwork is in. I teamed up with this wonderful woman, um, Natalie Garmaza, and she just like got the vision. And I just printed this here just to see like how it looks, but like that's what I'm going for. It's normal, like accessible to a kid is, and the story is written accessibly to a kid, and the artwork is, it's like vibrant and warm, and so like, and this is what I was going for. And then on top of it, like I put in more information. So like once you finish the formal reading, there's like a biography of Norma to like learn more about her. Um, there are discussion questions for like the age range that I'm looking for this book is like that early 6 to 10 young readers. There's questions that educators or parents could use to talk to their kids more about the idea of racism in the profession. And I purposefully did not use the word racism, but talking about how someone could be judged by how they look. Experiences I've had that I've talked about. I remember I definitely posted a video where like I went to go meet with a building inspector, and they just assumed I was the contractor, and I told them I was the architect, and they didn't believe me. It's like, no, I'm the architect. I designed this project. You are looking at my plans. This is so there's also some additional activities, Sound Connection, other books you can look at that talk about architecture from a kid's point of view, or specifically women who've had their history erased. Organizations you can look at, and then yeah, this is in the first project. It's in with the LOC trying to get the copyright locked down right now, but the copyright is back on this one, the Zizzle Who and the Giggle Fruit Tree. So this story is a response to the immigration situation going on right now. It is looking at it's looking at the Zizzle Who and the Giggle Fruit Tree right there. He shows up in a town that is not his hometown, and there's these wonderful little creatures that the Humahoos, who really want to just kind of like live their own life the way they've been living in this wonderful little town with puffy clouds and purple skies, and what they don't know. And then this new guy shows up, the Zizzle Who. He speaks a little different, and he is friendly, but like they don't know it. He doesn't look like them. He's blue. They're all like these little nip creatures that look like they're made out of yarn. And they just like the older people there try to drive him out. And then this younger girl, Pippity Pop, she decides she wants to get to know him. And she comes to find out that, he's pretty swell and funny, and he's tall, which means he can reach the giggle fruit from the tree up above that they've never actually eaten until he shows up. And they find out it's amazing. So she brings all the other kids in the village to like go hang out with them. And they find out there's more of them. They have kids too. And then, the end of the story kind of hits like the classic, they all find out they're great and they should be neighbors and friends. And it's really sort of leaning on, Matthew 22, like love your neighbor as yourself. Because sometimes your neighbor doesn't actually, all the time, your neighbor doesn't look like you. So this one copyrights back. I think I'm going to drop both. I've got to figure out how to put them, where to put them, etc., so you can get them. But yeah, that's and then there's a third book I'm working on. This is one I've been working on, this third one since like before the pandemic, to be honest. And I wrote a version. It is a completely different genre. This one is for the big kid, for the adults, we'll say. And it was, the first version was not good, but it gave me a framework. It gave me a direction, and then I rewrote it, and parts of it got really dark because I was in a dark place, and yeah. So I took the time after doing the rewrite, took a little time off, and I wrote essentially like an outline of the whole story from like the two versions, like what I wanted to keep, what I didn't want to keep, what I liked, what I didn't like. The characters, I developed them out fully so that their backstory, their future story, their relationships, their work, their everything, so that I could like understand what I'm writing. And I honestly, I think that like just the outline is probably going to end up being long. It is longer than whatever I'm planning on writing. So just finished rewriting the second chapter of it tonight, while working and doing everything else, because like, what else am I going to do with my time? And I really like what it's turning into. It's like getting good. It's getting good. I'm excited to share that. And I also reorganized the sort of the grief story about my processing of my grandmother's suicide. And that one is harder for me to share. I only shared the new version with one person who is a friend who's an author himself, and got his feedback yesterday, and it was encouraging. So that will be coming soon too. So yeah, those are some of the things I'm doing.